Before I start, I want to wish you all a happy new year 2022 and also a thank you to all of you as we reach 100 subs before the end of 2021. If you haven't already, please do subscribe as I would like to have a goal where we reach 1000 subs before the end of 2022. Thank you all again and do enjoy the video. Xiao, Ganyu's teacher, Zhongli's pet, a character that makes me go, "Make me useless please, hoya!"
If it's a problem, I'll go to the bar and I shut it down. Get on my section, don't bother with lames. I'm watching these bunnies bounce. Shorty, you 10, the rubber band, come on for the 100 pound. All of the talk, but don't run a mouth. I'm trying to be out. All I really wanna know, when we leaving. All I really need to know is when we leaving. All I really wanna know, when we leaving. All I really need to know is when we leaving.
Anyways, in this video, I'll be covering Xiao's kit, talents and leveling prioritization, artifact builds, recommended weapons, recommended team comms, and how to play Xiao. I have already made guides on various characters, so do check them out if you're interested. Timecodes are in the description, so do skip ahead on which info you would like to look on. Anyways, my name is PP and welcome to a Genshin Impact guide video. So how does Xiao work? Xiao is an animal polearm wielding character that deals animal damage with both his skill and burst. His elemental skill, wind cycling, makes him dash forward and deal damage to enemies that are in his way. The skill comes with 2 charges but has a 10-second cooldown, which is quite long, hence I will advise to use this skill just as a particle generator for Xiao himself. His burst, Bane of all evil, is the main source of his kit. 1. Makes Xiao jumps higher. 2. Increases his attack AoE and damage. 3. Converts all his attack to animal damage and no element can override this. While in his burst state, Xiao will lose HP continuously and this will decrease depending on his talent level. So for talent leveling prioritization, I would advise to go for auto attacks, then elemental burst, then elemental skill. Why auto attacks? Well, auto attacks are worth leveling as the burst is actually just a boost for his overall damage, but his original damage, like his plunges, all come from his basic attacks. Onto Xiao's passive. Tamer of these demons increases his damage by 5% every 3 seconds, while in his burst state, and a maximum of 25% can be achieved. His other passive, Heavenfall, increases damage of the next elemental skill by 15% after using the skill. And the last passive lets you climb even longer if Xiao is on field. Well, that means Lisa will have a great time. On to Constellations. C1 gives 1 extra elemental skill charge. C2, when Xiao is not on field, he will gain 25% extra energy recharge. C3 increases elemental skill talent by 3 levels. C4, if Xiao's HP is lower than 50%, he gains 100% defense. C5 makes him plunge me harder. C5 increases his burst talent by 3 levels. C6, while in his burst state, his elemental skill cooldown will be ignored if he hits 2 enemies at once. Summary to his Constellations, C1 is very much worth because Xiao will have a total of 3 charges for his elemental skill with this Constellation. C2, C3, C4, C5 won't contribute as much as it does not improve Xiao's DPS or gameplay significantly, especially C4. Like, why is Albedo's buff on Xiao's Constellation and Albedo has Xiao's Constellation? Like, what the fuck? And C6 makes him one of the most broken characters in the game. Oh yeah, one thing before we continue. Do like the video. It helps a lot. Artifact builds. For pre-AR45 players, 3-star options would be 2-piece Resolution or Braveheart for extra attack, 2-piece Berserker for extra crit rate, and both the Resolution or Berserker can be used in a full 4-piece set. For endgame players, there is only one option that Xiao will use, and that is the 2-piece Viridescent paired with the 2-piece Glad or Shimenawa. This combination is recommended as it gives extra attack while providing extra animal damage for Xiao to deal with his skills and burst. If you are having a hard time to get good substats while farming for this set combination, a 2-piece Glad and a 2-piece Shimenawa is an option. Recommended weapons. For 5-star options, Jade Spear, his best weapon to get. Matches with his outfit, gives crit rate, high base attack, and passive works fine with him. And this weapon can be obtained through the standard banner, but I don't have it. Please give me my Jade Spear already. Staff of Homer. Lower base attack than the Jade Spear, but offers a high crit damage. Vortex Vanquisher. Can work as it gives extra attack, and passive is nice if paired with a shield character, but does rely a lot on artifacts for good crit ratio. Skyward Spine. High base attack and great for Xiao burst spam, but does suffer a little more damage than the other spears. Also rely a lot on artifacts for good crit ratios. For 4-star options, Lithic Spear can use as it gives a good amount of base attack and attack percentage from the secondary stat it gives, and crit rate from its passive, but does require you to run a full Lie team. Deathmatch, one of his best 4-star options, as it gives a lot of crit rate but has a low base attack, and does cause you to swipe for the battle pass. For free-to-play options, Blackcliff Pole, higher base attack than the deathmatch, and secondary stat gives you crit damage, but does cost your star glitter. White Tassel, lowest base attack out of every spear mentioned here, but does offer crit rate as the secondary stat. Now on to team comms. An animal battery such as Sucrose and Venti is needed when using Xiao in a team, as he needs particles to deal damage with his burst. A sub DPS like Albedo pairs well with him, as Albedo is an off-field damage dealer and Xiao is an on-field DPS. A healer like Jean or Benny is needed as Xiao will drain his HP when using his burst. Buffers like Benny and a Shredder like Zhongli is a nice addition as it will increase Xiao's DPS capabilities. One of Xiao's popular comms would be Jean alongside Albedo and Zhongli. Jean mainly as a healer and a particle generator using the Favonian sword, Albedo as a sub DPS, and Zhongli as a shredder and a shielder, and both of them in a team can buff Xiao as the Geo Resonance is active. Other team variants such as Sucrose, Benny, and Zhongli can also work if you don't have the previous characters mentioned. So how do you play Xiao? Well, you just press his burst and basically jump and then press attack. And yeah, that's it. That's it actually. But if you want to use Xiao in a different way and deal more DPS, a combo I would suggest is this. The combo states normal attack once, then charge attack, and then jump and plunge, and repeat the whole process. It does require a bit of practice to perfect this combo, but it does output the most damage. My advice: Xiao is a selfish on-field DPS, and he does have high energy cost for his burst. He also needs a healer to solve his HP draining problems. What makes him a great DPS is his large AoE burst and a hyper DPS carry, which means he can carry the whole team and beat most of the content in the game with high investment. But he does lack with artifact build options, free-to-play weapon choices, and strong general team comps. His burst can be annoying at the same time as enemies can be knocked back and needed to catch them every time. And also one thing to note with Xiao, don't use him against this guy, because if you jump, he flies. Holy shit! Thanks for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, do leave a like and subscribe to see more vids like this, and do comment on what other videos you would like to see. And as always, I'm PP.